Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So let's begin our session with a wonderful quote. Our greatness weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to success is always to try just one more time. Good evening everyone. I, Chitala Karthik, being your host for today's international webinar on the topic of 5 elements of human success in any field. Extend my warm greetings and a very good evening to all of you present here. As we know that success in any field influenced by the combination of factors. And while specific may vary, there are some fundamental elements that tend to contribute to human success across various domains. Success is a holistic concept that often involves the combination of these elements. Trailer of the unique circumference of the each person of journey. Let's talk about the SEMS Welfare Foundation. We are a section of 8 non-profit companies registered under the Company Act in 2012 with various recognitions from NITI Aayog, MSME, MCOM, and DDU, GKY, and more recognized as the startup company in DIPP, MCI, and awarded the Best Service Award from National Contribution. SEMS Group with an active network of 5,000 plus professional public goods and an international journey. Organized education and health camp for the unprivileged children. Promote digital financial literature and contribute to the society. Our innovative DG Success has developed the content for 3,000 plus courses in IT, BFSI, retail entrepreneurship impacting diverse age groups. We are executively skilling projects for 600 in limited signed out from OS for training, collaborated with various organizations and conducting international conference. Film leads. Other SEMS innovative empowerment women for their workshop and newsletters conducting awareness programs in digital literatures and marketing and career development across different industries. We have impact over 10,000 women across state and recently celebrated a milestone of 100 women associated with the program. On behalf of the whole SEMS family, I welcome you all for today's international webinar on 5 elements of the human success in any field. And to add our guest of honor, today's speaker, Mr. Nimish Mehta. It is a great honor to you with us, sir. We have great for your presence here with us today. Now let me introduce today's speaker. He has more than 23 years experience of industry ranking for NBFC, Equality, Assets Management and Financial Services. And he also Commerce graduate MBA and certified CFP, means Certified Financial Planner. And he is a TEDx speaker and the author of international bestseller book on the Amazon title as Sales Booster and the founder of the NGO Mary Jindabirdi Foundation. He is a guest lecturer at various MBA institutes in Mumbai and he is mentor students at Central Institute of Management, Mumbai. He has also been invited to speak in industries from the topic of ranking from sales, leadership and productivity and customer services.
Okay, thank you, Karthik, and thank you, Lakshmi, for organizing this, giving me the opportunity. And hats off to SEMS Welfare Foundation for doing this wonderful job for the, I don't know, journey for many, many years now.
Yeah.
So before we begin, let me just share a brief story so you'll be able to relate to. Sometimes when you listen to the profile, you feel, the presenter has life very easy. So let me give a little bit of background to you so that we can connect. I came from a very humble family. My mother worked in a government school and father used to work in a saving government company. All my life, right from 10th standard, I had to work so that I can, fund my education. Incidentally, I used to work as a telecall operator in a STD booth in 10th standard. I used to, in 11th standard of BCom Commerce, I joined, I decided to earn, and the only job I got was a salesman job, which was a direct selling job. What is it about? If you have seen in your house, there are salesmen who come to your house and they sell some products. I used to do that. I did that for about 6 to 8 months when I used to carry 30 pieces of utility items, cookware in a large bag. I used to go into a commercial office, industry center, a residential house. And the way I was taught is that for every 10 people I meet, 1 people will buy my product, 9 people will reject it there. So I was expected to meet 300 people every day so I can sell 30 products and I can earn commission every day. So I was living on commission and I used to continue. I remember in those days, I used to get thrown out of the residential colonies because, the way the people treat the salesmen, they don't really respect it. But believe me, I did that for long. And even today, if somebody comes to my house selling anything, I will come and request him to come to my house, inside the house. I'll offer water. I'll make him sit down for a while, relax him, and they feel surprised as to why this guy is doing that. But they don't know. I can see myself this was in 1993, 94 is when I used to do this selling out here. And then all my life, I keep doing selling from courier services to the consumer products, so on and so forth. As I stand today, I feel fortunate. I feel lucky that I got that opportunity to become a commission salesman. Today, I've reached to a stage, thanks to God, thanks to I think my parents, that today I'm a director and a head of sales and products into a very large investment firm. But that's not. I'm just trying to relate to it that today you might feel that the speaker hasn't gone through any difficulty. I live in Mumbai, never had opportunity to go in a car, always going in a bus, rather bus. I prefer trains more, keep walking out there. So, the today when I got an opportunity to speak, I said, let me share my experiences out there. All of you decide to, invest the next 1 hour. I'm committed to give my best. So to maximize our time, I have a request to all of you. If possible, try and keep your mobile emails closed on a silent mode. Believe me, nothing will happen if you don't reply or don't act for 1 hour. Second, I request each one of you to try and make notes, bullet points, make some notes out there because this is a completely practical program or experiential sharing. There's nothing at all theoretical in this session. And I would like to take your feedback, including Lakshmi and Karthik in the end, that is it a practical program or more theoretical? There is an entire experiential journey. It's about how to succeed in any area. I don't know. A lot of women are there. A lot of students will be there. How to use badge or the 5 elements of human success in any field. So let me load my presentation, which I want to cover today. So that's the book which I wrote way back in 2018. And what I'm going to cover today, this is the first chapter of my book, which talks about badge, the 5 elements of human success in any field. I'm going to use a lot of quotes which I've learned in my life, and I think those quotes will give you a lot of deep meaning if you really reflect on it. And one of the first learnings of my life has been experience is the best teacher. Learn from other people's experiences, success and failures. Life is too short to learn everything yourself. And believe me, this is so powerful. Many times, and I can go back to my life. Earlier, I used to say, what can this guy teach me, man? I know my life is difficult. These people live in Noida, I live in Mumbai, I live in Bangalore, I live in different places, and they don't know my life. They don't know my family. But see, human experiences are similar. Yeah. Human, family, all work experiences are similar. So inside of it, you'll be able to pick out a lot of things if you just be open. My only request to each one of you is just be open of what we're trying to do today. So now let me jump into the topic straight away. And what is it called? I've coined it as badge. We start with belief. What is that? Now, this is my personal example I quote there. And if you can read this and memorize, believe me, when God wants to send you a gift, He wraps it up in a problem. And if God wants to send you a bigger gift, He wraps it in even a bigger problem. One might think, what is He talking about it there? And I'm going to share my live example to share with you. And I'm thankful to God, some of you, why it happened. So, how to develop that belief in yourself. So, this is about how part. This is a practical program. Life will keep throwing you situations which will break or make you. I use because most of the time, people, it breaks you. You may blame the God, you may blame the situation and say, why me? What did I do? Let me just give you a short, my own example. I was just 21 years of age, and I got my first job at Godrej Appliances. I was coming back on bike from uh, central suburbs to western suburbs, and I met with a bike accident. The bike accident was so traumatic. I got unconscious. Some lady picked me up from because I fell down in the gutter. I was thrown open there. She picked me up, took me to government hospital, got me admitted. The accident happened 6:30 around this time, and then my family got to know at 10 o'clock. It was so traumatic that, and if you want, you may listen to. I will not spend some time on that because I have a TEDx talk speaking about there. But the point is there that uh, I went through 11 surgeries. I went through 12 months, 13 months of hospitalization, come home, and 6 months of physiotherapy to stand back on my feet again. And it was impossible to, most of us, people around me never thought that I'll be able to live a normal life. Normal life, and I mean by not a handicapped life. And I keep thanking God that happened to me. But at that point in time, why do I say so? Every time a situation like that comes to you, my learning my is that never let a difficult situation go waste. Now, in those times, how do you converse with yourself is very, very important. Okay. For some people, for me, it was physical accident. For you, it could be a financial problem. For somebody, it could be a relationship problem. For somebody, it could be educational issue, a business issue. It could be very, very different. And it could be, no common for all. Yeah. But remember, what do you converse in those times? How do you relate to it? And I'm telling you, I was kept asking God. Initially, let me confess that I was blaming God. Blaming God in the first 1.5 months that I was just 21 years of age in my life. Why did this happen to me? What mistake I did? Why didn't do any harm to anybody? I didn't hurt anybody. Then why is it that it happened to me in life? But this happened in October 1998, sometime around January when I was reading a newspaper. Yeah. Uh, uh, this is the point I want to say. You need to find a meaning or a reason why God planned a difficult situation. Like never blame for it. I blamed for it. Let me confess. I blamed for 2 months until I realized that what happened. So one fine day in a hospital, I was reading a paper out of tiredness, and I saw an opportunity to appear for CET exams MBA. Let me confess, I had appeared for MBA exams earlier, CET exams earlier, and I didn't get good marks. Okay. And I was nervous. I didn't feel that I can pass, I can get good marks because my marks were average. But I don't know for what reason that day I felt like God wants me to study this, wants me to work hard and do that. And therefore, that day I got the reason. See, I joined Godrej Appliances, but I realized that until I become an MBA, I cannot grow or make a good career or even grow in Godrej life. And therefore, I started to study very diligently. And to my good fortune, that I actually got an admission in a call third reputed institute those days, Sydenham Institute of Management. I quit my full time job. I didn't have any money at home. I took a loan and I finished my 2 year of MBA to be able to come out of it. And today, I think if that accident would have happened, I would have never done an MBA. And if I had not done an MBA, I would have not grown in my life as I'm out today. And therefore, it is a reason which God planted that day, which I didn't know. And today I benefit out there. So, for belief, until you have, that self conviction which I have, you have knowledge. Your belief is a function of your upbringing at home. How your family, how your parents, how your siblings are received the situation around life. In your school, all your friends. So belief is a function of all the situation which may happen there. And therefore, my request to all of you, it's not that only I can develop that belief. It comes through religious, diligent effort of reading books, listening to audiobooks, attending training programs, seminars. If you do consistently, it'll help you develop that determination and unflinching belief in your life, which will, make you nothing and anything may happen in life, and you will really come out of it very, very easily because you have that conviction in yourself. It's a time, it's not a like very easy process, a easy thing to happen. Maybe you can mute that gentleman's line, but you need to keep working at it. You may, read spiritual books. You may read, so we'll try and figure out how it can happen. So this is in Bhagavad Gita written beautifully that a man is made by his belief, and as he believes, so is he. This is very powerful. And if I combine this with what Napoleon Hill has said, whatever mind can conceive, I can conceive that I'll get fine fully and believe it fully, only then can achieve. There are very three parts here. One is to conceive, other is to, believe in your mind, and only then can achieve in there. And therefore, very, very important that you understand this part. There are another which few quotes which are very powerful. How you do anything is how you do everything. See, lot many times I meet students. They tell me, "Sir, I'm excellent at sports. Okay, I'm doing good." I tell them, if you are good at, can you mute Vijay's line, please? So this is very deep. I realized very, very late. Your skills are passportable across domains. What it means is there, if you are good, maybe at cooking, if you're good maybe at sports, if you're good, maybe at English, maths, or something, means you have that confidence, you have that skill, you have this capability, and it can go to one to other. It need not be that you need to be good at everywhere. But because you have that, all you need is that effort, energy, in reading books, in attending seminars, and getting there. But have that unflinching belief in your own self, in your college, in your company, in your business to start. You can't start a business thinking whether it succeeded or unsucceed. It doesn't work like that. When you start, you got to have that unflinching belief and start across there that I am going to get successful by doing that. And a vision, or that will come a little later. We'll talk about it there. Only and only then is when you will get out there. You can't reach a college and say that maybe this college doesn't have good so-called placements, etc. So I don't know, the teachers are not good. I mean, all that was supposed to be decided before you get a college. All that was supposed to be decided before you start a business. Now that you start across the business, you got to play out and play the game as fast and as bad as possible out. So that was about belief. That's the fundamental crux of one can start going there. But now comes the second A. A is attitude. Now, let me, there are many quotes, but something which I thought I'll pick up today: your attitude, not your aptitude. Now, this is very important because until I was in school and college, I thought that people who are great at grades, who have very good marks, first, get 1, 2, 3 ranks, are the best guys, and I cannot do anything because I was in the top bottom 25%, or not bottom 25, but maybe 50 to 75%. I was in the third quartile. And therefore, I used to always envy looking at people. My God, this guy is brilliant, yaar. Bhagwan ne usko, everything is given to him, so he will do well in life. Okay, that was my perception. And this is something I want you guys to break because this is one of the biggest deterrents which people have in life, that I am not having the education. I am not best at grades. I used to always feel I don't can speak English. I came from a vernacular medium in that sense that we could never speak English till about I used to fear speaking till about 14, 15 standard in BCom and all. I joined public speaking courses. I started to read books to see how to improve my English. Not that it's better out there, but to break my fear and break my conviction. Today, I must say, with not an arrogance, but a lot of friends of mine in MBA days or in a college days, in the school days, who were ranked 1, 2, 3, maybe I'm doing better than some of those out here. So what it's trying to say, it is not your aptitude, it is your attitude in life, and that will determine your altitude. Now, today we're going to talk about Dr. Sanjay. Can you just mute your line, please? It is it's making some noise. Now, this is, I must say that if your next 5 minutes you take back something, it'll be the most powerful part of the presentation today out here. If you want to develop a positive attitude, my humble request to each one of you: do not watch TV, read newspapers, and check social media 2 hours after you get up from the sleep and 2 hours before you go to bed. All the information in the country is sensational negative. And when, many times, let me put it simply, when you see a very horror movie, see something wrong has happened, do you get good sleep sometime? Mostly not, because those are things your mind is thinking around, the whole things around there. Let me put a very different example to each one of you. So, in the days when mobile is not to be there, and I was playing cricket in my life. So, and Saturday, Sunday, I used to go play cricket. This is in the other side of Vileparle I stay. So I used to go, someday I go at 7, come back by 10 if there are no cricket matches further. Or someday if there are more matches, tournaments, so I come at 1 o'clock, someday at 3 o'clock, someday at 4 o'clock. My mother will make the food and keep it ready and believe that 1 hour time he'll come at 11 o'clock, then eat food, he'll come at 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock, he'll come and eat the food. But she never thought about it that something wrong would have happened. Now put that situation today. If your brother, if your parents, if your children don't come, are not contactable 1 hour, what comes to your mind? The first thing that
Frustration,
comes, sorry?
frustration, worried, frustration, weariness. Because now, no, the world has changed.
Agree.
Everywhere there is this theft, and then taking away the kids from their parents, like without even their knowledge,
Yes.
they
Yes.
take away, and they
Absolutely.
blackmail the parents that you give me so much of
Correct.
money. Especially, it's more after COVID.
Yeah. Oh, so very good. Thank you for stepping in there. You're bang on. See why that has happened. Obviously, there's some reality to that, but because you've absorbed some information that some accident happened, somebody did theft, somebody kidnapped or something there. So all that kind of thoughts come to our mind, and that has happened not because of one day what you watched yesterday night or what you did today morning. It's because of the last 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, all that information. What is this? Garbage in, garbage out. So you put the garbage inside and it stays there. But what I'm just requesting you across is there is the 2 hours before you go to sleep and 2 hours after you get. Unfortunately, this is the most difficult to do, which I've taken some time to practice it there, but this doesn't happen to me at all. Obviously, it takes a while to build. After that, you can still do that. But what is important is to not have that temptation to look at mobile, not the temptation to look at Instagram, not the temptation to watch the television and news out there to do it. All others, if you want to do it and walk and read, I mean, all that is fine. But please stay away from this. And trust me, I'll give you an example. When I first tried it, it didn't work for 1 month. I said, what change happened? Nothing happened. Then for another in a month, I didn't happen. It took me a good 6, 8 months time for religiously practicing this, for me to remove all the garbage, all the negative things I've had in my life. And today, even negative comes in, it just gets thrown out because over time I have built a place to absorb, and then I have given my mind, my subconscious mind, conscious mind to absorb only good information stay out there. When you do that, you reach a stage where anything and everything that happens in life, you'll start to believe very important. The second part you should do is, apart from that 2 hours, is there are always in life, you said, meet two set of people. One are positive people and other are grumblers in life. What are grumblers in life? They always keep saying things like, let me give an example. Maybe politics, they're complaining. They are infrastructure, they're complaining. They say, oh my God, in Bombay, people, and one thing they complain, disastrous roads, traffic, etc. All the things. Now, tell me, I just have a question. Maybe if you want to answer, maybe just reflect on yourself. Can you do anything about the traffic today? Can't do nothing about it there. Can you do any infrastructure development immediately? No. Only thing in the democracy, what you can vote after 5 years and decide which government should come in there. That's the only thing in your hand. Other than that, if there's a bad weather, what's the point in complaining? There's a bad road, nothing can be done. Bad traffic accident, nothing can be done. It's a choice you got to make in life, which will decide as to which part of life. And therefore, I say, try not to complain. It's a habit which you develop, which will change your life. If you keep talking to yourself and say, the day is bad, sun is bad, the trains are late today, I mean, you are starting an environment whereby you will not be able to have a good success or a good day because you've been starting to think. So never ever complain about anything in life. And I talked about my extent as well. Please try and play a sport or something like that, because when you play a sport, and I recommend with the yoga, exercise, whatever you do there, a sport, because why I'll tell you a sport, because when you play a sport, whatever, table tennis you play, carom you play, badminton you play, you forget what's on your mind. See, your mind is stressed today with 10,000 things. When you play a sport, only you're looking at the racket and trying to say, okay, let me return it there. Badminton, cricket, what across there. And therefore, your mind gets that freedom to not think about the stressful things and just relax themselves. So that really unwinds you. If you really pick up a sport or a yoga or a brilliant meditation, whatever you think, I'm just recommending what worked for me. You can decide for this thing. And second, and the last part, when you get up in the morning, try to pick up good books. Try to pick up a good, audio, a nice spiritual book to be able to read in there. Because when you start, the first hour of the day is called the rudder of the day. Rudder of the day is like a foundation of the day. When you, in the first hour of the day, if you put in all the positive, happy things in life and not pick up, the mobile and check about it there. Oh God, this guy went to Kashmir and enjoyed life. This guy is thing. You start envying. You start thinking this one went to the hospital and this happened there. Don't do all of that. Just be with yourself. Either play a sport. The last two things you can do it together. Either that in the first hour. I think that will. And again, I repeat, this cannot happen. Magic will not happen in 1 day or 2 day out there. You'll have to be practicing sustainable for a long period of time to be able to make a difference. Now, let me move to the third part. The D, I call it self-discipline. And let me give my own example. Some of you, again, this example so you can relate it better. Yeah. But this is the one of the most powerful definitions I've heard in my life. And if you can memorize it, if you can understand, it'll be powerful. Self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do it, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Now, let me explain to you what does. Getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, yeah, is the making yourself do what you should do it. So you get up at 5 o'clock. When you should do it at 5 o'clock, but whether you feel like it or not. This is the part very important. Whether you feel like it or not. Now, eating early is, I'll cover in the part there. Eating right kind of food Sometimes you say, nah, yeah, I want to enjoy this food. Once or twice is fine. But on a regular basis, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 days, you should be able to eat on time, home food, so on and so forth. So it is the ability to make yourself do what you should do it, which is get up at 5 o'clock. When you should do it, you know, for that 5 o'clock, whether you feel like it or not. Now, look at this gentleman. This is exactly me in 2007. I used to weigh 100 kgs. I had all kind of health disorders. I had gastro problem. Uh, uh, I used to fall sick every 1 month, 1.5 month. I used to have backaches, all the kind of name it the problem, and I had it with across there. And that's where I realized I went to a yoga institute, and I must publicly mention a yoga institute at Santa Cruz East that changed my life permanently. I learned four things. Maybe I'll cover there in little state. Exactly 1 year later is what I am. This in 2008. This is a photo at Club Mahindra Varka in Goa. And as I stand today, I'm still the same weight and same thing. Obviously, that this is 2008 photo, so 15 years of gray hair and some changes has happened is there. Now, this is exactly how the journey has happened. And the journey, if I were to give you one reason it happened, because of self-discipline. And there are four things which I learned. I wish I could have some time and I actually do this session for people who want to lose weight, but I can't do that because that's not the intent out here. But I'll tell you the four things which really moved and which helped me in life. A quantity of food. Now, all of us Indians, I mean, I say typically have intent to, I mean, we end up eating more. I'm a Gujarati by birth, which means Gujaratis typically eat more food than what they can consume all points in time. And I used
More
to,
than food, it's sweet.
yeah,
Gujarati
sweet
sweet.
also. I agree.
Yes,
Sweet and fried foods and so on and
yes,
so
yes.
forth is something which you do that. But I'm just looking at time and seeing how much we can do. When you say quantity of food, let me give an example to you. When I went to a yoga institute, they told me an example which I want you to remember and understand very well. If you understand this one example, you'll understand very well. So they gave a 5 kilo washing machine and they said, let's put 7 kilo clothes inside that to wash. Okay, 5 kilo washing machine capacity. We put 7 kg and said how to wash. So, you saw the washing machine didn't work well. The clothes were not getting, washed properly. It got entangled. It got stuck. Machine stopped, so on and so forth, right? So you can imagine overstuff. So, okay, I know what's there. Then in a 5 kilo washing machine, we put 3 kilo clothes or a 4 kilo clothes. And we saw machine is beautifully working. The water is moving well. The clothes are churning pretty well. And if the client happened beautifully, it didn't get stuck out there. I'm like, what is the point in this seminar of health and happiness? They're showing washing machine for us, etc. Then the teacher said, your stomach is nothing but a 1 kilo, 2 kilo, half kilo washing machine. Every time you stuff more than 1 kg, supposing your stomach capacity, if you put 1.2, it's the same thing what happened to a washing machine, or same thing happened to the clothes which didn't wash. It happens to your body, and therefore you create a lot of weight around your stomach area, is because of the more food which you. And then if you can restrict yourself at 80%, 90% instead of 1 kg food, if you can add 900 grams or 800 grams, you will automatically feel more agile. Your metabolism will higher. There's one powerful thing. If you can understand the washing machine and reflect on what is your washing machine capacity is out there, we'll do that. Second, in terms of quality of food, now, very interesting in the same example, we were asked to break. There was a maida roti, which the I don't know maida, how do you call maida roti, which is kept there, was kept for 1-2 hours. And then there was a lady who was invited on the stage and told, Isko abhi break karo into 16 pieces, like one, two, and it actually took the lady to pull. It had to stretch it a little harder to break it. And it broke like this, and it tried to further break, and it was difficult. And the teacher just said, just imagine if physically you can't break it, this food so easily, how difficult your small intestine will take you to digest the food out. Is one of the beautiful things which I realized. And from that day till today, that consciousness of habit, which has happened to, those days I completely stopped the pizzas and, all the kind of outside food there. So I'm not saying you should do that, but, and I just developed, and what they said is, how many times we eat the fruits, which is nature's best fiber, protein, not proteins don't come there, but, fiber, nutrients comes out there, vegetables, which, we do that. So I started to eat home food. And that's a very important part, that for about a year's time, the transition which I saw from 100 kgs to 72 kgs, I just try to get home food. However, whatever you eat home food, it's fine. But try to not to do anything outside food, and especially not those kind of food. Even if sometime I'm traveling outside food, I'll eat a simply idli sambar, which is made of fresh batter, and life becomes easier out there. Or simple dal rice or a curd, and to do that. add a bit of protein. I mean, it takes a long time to take part, but I don't can't explain the whole of those things. Someday, if we get time, I'll speak only on this subject. The third part, the timeliness of food, is very powerful. One thing, when the teacher told me that you should eat your food 4 hours before you go to sleep. Your body needs to take the last meal 4 hours before you go to sleep. So then she asked us, what time you sleep? That was I used to sleep at 11 o'clock. So I said, do you mean you eat at 7 o'clock? I made the teacher wrong, saying, have you worked in the corporate world ever? Do you have any sense? I'm telling her, do you have any sense that 7 o'clock food khane ka? So, she was so kind, she was so gentle. She's saying, no worry, Nimesh. What I'm saying is absorb, slowly bring it to 9, 8, and across there. Today, okay, 10 or 10 days, I finished my dinner around 7 o'clock. If it is not for this, I would have had my dinner at this point in time. But as soon as I finish this, I'm at home. My dinner will be ready at 7 o'clock, will happen there. So 10 out of 10 times, 7 o'clock is the food over. And in at home food, and the quantity of food is less. So he's able to have that energy and able to do that. Last, I spoke earlier, exercise or play 1 hour every day, just to be physically active. Go back to your parents. Our parents used to be very in the farm. They used to be in the village. They used to be, always walking and doing their. We have the luxury. We go in a rickshaw. We go in, hardly walk. There's no physical activity out there. Just try and do 1 hour physical activity. Follow discipline. I did that for one. Timeliness of food. I must tell you that it took me 9 o'clock chalu kiya, 8:30 kiya, 8 o'clock kiya, 7 o'clock ho gaya, and today I followed it there. Of that one habit, it made me lose 5 kgs from I think 97, 98 to about 90 kgs, about 1.5 months because of timeliness of food when I started. Other thing not equal. So that's the power. So to sum up in terms of discipline, 75% to lose weight and become healthy, 75% is food habits and 25% exercise habits. Everybody does the opposite. People go to gym, New Year रहा है, जिम जाते हैं, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे और हो जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं होता है. His food habit is 75% and the balance is 25% exercise. So my Swamiji keeps saying what is nectar in the beginning is poison in the end and vice versa. Now why I'm sharing this example, what is nectar in the beginning? Having a McDonald's burger or a pizza is a nectar, but what turns out is a poison towards the end of, and it comes out very differently there. What is nectar or what is poison to beginning and vice versa is to get up at 5 o'clock and go for exercise or go for running. That's a poison. Nobody wants to get up at 5 o'clock. कौन उठेगा यार? ठंडी है, गर्मी है, so on and so forth out there. So that poison become nectar in the future. Nectar, what is nectar? I'm telling you everything in life. Whatever is easy in life is always difficult towards the end. Whatever is difficult to do is always easy toward the end of life. So keep that in mind. So I'll not talk the how to develop self-discipline, self-talk again. Strong will and determination. You have to develop yourself. I used to always keep talking to myself. When I go to a 5-star restaurant, okay, I will not, first I eat soups. I slowly gradually to prepare myself. I'll eat some salads. I'll eat something else. I'll drink some water and be a demand on yourself. You have to commit and say, I'm going to break this pattern. I'm going to break this habit. If you can't do it yourself, identify a coach, come mentor. Therefore, I coach and mentor students at Sydney Minister of when somebody said that, identify a buddy. You can just identify a buddy within yourself. Somebody is a buddy who's honest to you. When I say that, honest means he doesn't lie. A good friend रहेगा, अरे छोड़ना है राज, खा ले खाना, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. That's not, he's a good friend, but he's not an honest buddy with you. Okay. You got to identify somebody and say, I want you to hold me responsible. Hold me responsible for not smoking, not doing this, so on and so forth there, and I'll help you out there. And you make yourself accountable because every day, I used to have this coach buddies and coaches also. Every day I used to send in the evening. What did I eat? What did I do? How much time I spent? This is there. So it becomes an accountability out there. Nobody is not by force. Do it by choice. Do it by choice. I commit to social media. And I used to go for, when I say use social media positively, I say I'm going to, next month I'm going to do 100 kilometers cycling. People around me say, "Kab 100 kilometers ho gaya? Practice kar rahe ho?" So it put pressure on me. Now start working there. So use the social media to your, or me, people around you to make yourself account. And again, I can just not highlight more and more. Reading books, listening to audiobooks, attending seminars will strengthen your inner talk to build. Now, this Jim Rohn has said beautifully, discipline is the bridge between goals and any goals you have in life can be achieved provided you have the self-discipline. Self-discipline, another quote, is like a muscle. It takes a while. Muscle cannot be overnight. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. 2 दिन exercise किया, my muscle is not built. It doesn't happen like that. It takes a while to build a muscle. The slowly, gradually, you develop out there. And this is the last quote on the self-discipline, which is the most powerful part. There are 999 success principles in life that I have found in my reading experience. But without self-discipline, none of them work. I can guarantee you. Any success book you read, they'll give you gyan, all the things in there. This will work. Entrepreneurship, this will work. But if you don't have self-discipline, none of them. I can guarantee you across them. So let's move to the G part, the last 2 portion. This to me was a revelation when I first read in life the Harvard business case study is there. Now, this was conducted in a Harvard only, For Harvard students in 1979 and 89, 79 students of Harvard were asked the question, have you set clear written goals for your future and made plans to get? So in 1979, they were told, in 1989, do you know what will you get, what will you achieve, and how you plan to achieve that? Can you believe what happened to an MBA? 84% people said, everybody do MBA. We're also doing MBA. What is the big deal about it? So we have no goal at all. There are 13% people who had goals in mind, but they didn't write down. They were thinking, I will join my father's business. I will become an advertising agency. I will be a sports person, whatever they want to be. Because they had some goal in their mind in 10 years. And only 3% people in the Harvard entire student of 1979, they had written goals, they had clarity, and how they had planned to accomplish. Powerful. Okay. Now in 1989, the entire batch was again met and studied. Now look at this revelation of the actual students which were met again exactly 10 years later, and look at the astounding results of it. The 13% people who had goals were earning 2 times as much as the 84% put together. All, let's say 100 students, 84 people had the income was say 100. This 13%, each of them earned 2 times of what the 84% put together across. Can you beat that? Now look at the next number, it will just baffle you completely. The 3% people who had clear return goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the 97% put together. This was like a revelation, shocker for me in life when I read it. I reread it again. What they don't teach you at Harvard Business School. In that book, also, the study has been mentioned by Mark McCormack. And read this study, reflect on it. It changed my life. Since that day, this happened to me not very early. I read this book in 2012, 13. From that day onwards till today, I've been able to achieve everything in my life because I've been able to identify, have clarity of my goals. Again, how to set goals, how to achieve goals. I take 1 hour of session, which we don't have time today. It's the second part of my chapter, which we do there. You know why I'm here today? It's not because Lakshmi called me up or, yes, Lakshmi called me up. I agree with that. But because I had a goal for myself, which was in 2023, also in 2024. Is, can you meet Suganya, please? Yeah. My goal was to share my learning mistake with 10,000 people, and I already started. This is the second seminar I'm doing. I already spoke to batch of students in the just about in the 12th, 13th of January, and today on 19th January. So my intent is to pass on my experience and learning to all the people that it helps them in the personal and the professional life career out there. Yeah. Now let's move to the last part, which is E, effectiveness. And I'm seeing time, it is 6:45, so don't delay much. Now, what do you mean by effectiveness? And there's a beautiful book written, The Effective Executive for God by whom? But there's a very powerful book which I read earlier. Ultimately, what effectiveness means is there, are you a CEO, a businessman, an entrepreneur, is able to produce a desired result or outcome within a defined time? Okay. To be able to get there, he himself should be a time management expert. See, today, time, everybody, whether it's Biden, Narendra Modi, Salman Khan, or anybody across there, everybody has the same 24 hours God is given. How you use the 24 hours is a function of your own usage of time. And therefore, I'm going to share with you how you can get better. First and foremost, you must first start measuring your own time spent on different activities. You have to get to do this unless you don't know. Because see, I'll tell you a very simple thing. I thought that I get ready in 15 minutes time. Okay, I put initially 15 minutes time. I didn't realize my shaving itself takes 10 minutes time. By the time I take a bath and all, it actually takes me 25, 30 minutes to finish out there. And before I measured my time, I thought it's easy, man. 15 minutes time, likely, and I said, I'll be able to do that. So what you must do, and I'll show you towards the end, is to have an Excel sheet with blocks of 1 hour each, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. You must have the discipline to find out where is your going time. Where everybody keep complaining in the country or everywhere, I don't have time, man. I want to do this. I don't have time. I want to go on vacation. I don't have time. I want to do a course. I don't have time. I want to, achieve great success in my business. I don't have time. That's a myth and perception which you have. So therefore, first start measuring that. Second, as I told you in the goals life, until you decide the goal, you will always go helter-skelter in life because you don't know where to go. Just suppose I'm in Bombay, I want to go to Delhi. I know I have to go in this direction towards north. But if I start any train and go out there, it will not work. But it's important that you have a goal-setting exercise done to be able to have a great time and expert. Otherwise, you keep losing time. You don't know what is to be done. Lakshmi was saying she didn't send me a reminder yesterday about today's session. But in November, she planned a calendar for me. So 18 January, my calendar is there. I was there. Today, Karthik told me come at 5:50. I came at 5:50 because you got to keep that time discipline. That's one of the most fundamental things you must keep in life to be able to success. And therefore, goal needs to be set there. Uh, Third part, I say everyone make a to-do list. But unfortunately, this is one of the productivity program which I do for 1 hour. That 1 hour program says how to become productive. To become productive, first is to start capturing everything in one place. Earlier days I used to write on a newspaper, I used to write on my hand, I used to write on a book and everywhere. I don't know. At the end of the day, yeah, I was thinking about that. Did I do or not do? Okay. I use an Excel now. While I'm talking to you, there's Excel which is open. After I finish, if I discuss something, I'll go back to the Excel, type something, and do that. And every day that Excel gets deleted, added, or new change across there. So I know everything is at one place. And therefore, you'll be calm and peaceful because when you know what is to be done. If you don't know what's to be done, it's in your head. Your mind is always cluttered, angry, excited, and therefore you're not able to produce out there. Fourth, very important, you should know how much each activity will take time. Okay, you cannot do saying this session will go for 2 hours. I know that 7 o'clock I have to end. Yeah, it's 18:49 now. We'll have some Q&A time across there. So I need to have that session to be able to plan there. Most of the time in the corporate world, business world, people don't put the end activity. I'll give you an example. When you go for a vacation, okay, or when you are chutti from tomorrow, holiday from tomorrow, the earlier day you work so everything fast, fast because you finish it and that same intensity should come into your day-to-day work to be able to do that. When I go for shopping also, I'm very clear planned across there. There's like 30 minutes time for shopping. Yeah. So you are not trying to just do loiter around and do this section, that section. Someday it is available. I'm not that I don't do that in life, but that's a very family activity, relaxation activity to do there. But when it's supposed to be work, start a meeting on time and end on time, that discipline needs to happen. Lastly, whatever you put in Excel needs to go in the calendar. So what if supposingly I decided tomorrow I go for 1 hour of run. Tomorrow I will do 1 hour to go to college. It should go into 9 a.m. time, 10 a.m. time, whatever time across there, which I'll show it to you. Unless you do that and run a calendar, I don't think you'll be able to do that. This was my weekly calendar, which I made long period of time. Very simply put, 7 hours, everybody gets 168 hours. Where is the sleeping time? What is the work profession time? What is the travel to office time? What is the get ready this thing there? So all has been done what I wanted to do. And then there's a real activity which I actually do. This is my current daily calendar which happens there. 5 a.m. I get every day. Wake up, brush and drink warm water. 5 a.m., 5:15, which is the rudder of the day, I do spiritual studies. So what's category is the spiritual category. 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. is walking every single day. Nothing I'll do there. 7 to 7:30, yoga, breathing exercise to get ready. And then you can just read quickly. I'm not trying to say what is there. It's very clear that what each activity provides to and how can I get best out of there. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. it takes travel to office. So I will, finish off all my audiobooks, relevant YouTube, some podcasts, I don't listen there. So it's a learning time and travel time. Then 9 a.m. to 5 a.m., I don't do any personal work. I only do work, work and work. Again, traveling back, so on and so forth. This is my 7 to 7:30 dinner time, as I told you earlier. So as soon as I get this over, I'll finish my dinner out there. Then it is some time with my family, enjoying, talking to my two daughters, my parents, and all across there. And then wrapping up things, brush face, and 10 a.m. go to sleep. Sorry, 10 p.m. go to sleep, 5 a.m. get up. 7 hours of good sleep. I try to design and plan it in a manner I get to do everything what I want. Some days may go up and down out there. And not like this is like a black and white always happens. It may go slightly out there, but there are buffers. There are no which things I can do, which things I cannot do, and do that. Until and unless you bring that habit of trying to break this or know this, what thing is happening at what time, what you want to do in life, how much time on sports, how much time to read newspaper, how much time to do across there, and you measure it actually out here, which I forgot to give you an Excel to show you there. Each hour, what is it doing out there? If you capture this, only then you will become a time management expert. So, just the last slide on my part to complete there. How to become effective? Focus on completing the most important and not urgent task. Again, this is a productivity measure, but do the most important thing first thing in life, not anything else. Remember, multitasking doesn't work. Now, what I mean is there, single tasking is most important to improve productivity. People are listening here and also doing work on the mobile. It will not help. Either you're not doing good work on your mobile or not listening to me. Both things cannot happen together. Active mind can focus only on one thing. See, something you're watching TV and reading something across, which is okay because there's not something important to do. But two active work cannot happen together out there. Believe me, if I can tell you one only thing to improve your productivity, start doing single tasking. Don't do multitasking. There's a myth in life. I've done enough studies, enough research out there. It doesn't work out like. Always have an end time to be successful, to be effective, is to have an end time to each activity. You must know what time I have to finish it. There. If you don't, you keep dragging, and postpone out there. My mobile phone is always on silent mode because mobile today is the biggest deterrent for productivity. Email, biggest deterrent. An email comes in, you focus out there. So many times in the earlier day before I was productive, an email came, I started replying to email. I was making presentation to my board, and suddenly after email, I realized I was thinking about Goa. What should I do? Pune, what should I do? I forgot completely. Yeah. A phone came. I attended a mobile call. Hurry, what happened? What happened? I was there. I was thinking something. I forgot completely. So you must make sure that the digital gadgets are not disturbing you. They should have unnecessary. I can show it to you. I don't know whether you guys can see it there, but I can show it to you. If there are any kind of this one is there. There are no notification on my phone, so I don't get distracted at all. It comes in. You must spend 15 minutes every day to make a detailed calendar for next day. You must plan. This Mr. Gadsham or somebody, can you mute your line, please? Yeah. The last part, you must spend every weekend an hour or 45 minutes to see what you want to achieve next week. If you don't do that, you will just go, helter skelter and not able to achieve out there. And still, depending on what level of life you are, you must keep 20 to 40% calendar free. If you park everything else, you'll get frustrated in life and you'll not be able to achieve the entire objective. So, with that, I would like to end up by again reminding, the badge. What it says is believe, attitude, self-discipline, goals, effectiveness. Some people join later, but these are the five elements of human success. It can help you in any area of life. Let me give a live example to each one of you. I started a foundation about 2.5, 3 years back, and I just was checking whether I ticked mark. So if you want, I just leave you with an example. If you in your life, whatever you want to do it there, write the BADG left side and put here and start writing yes. Is it yes here? Okay, I had attitude. I'll be able to do that. Today, 132 students we have adopted whose educational fees are paid by our foundation. Yeah, I had the discipline. Again, Saturday morning, I'll go to interview some students at a college in Goregaon East. Discipline. I have a very clear goal of what needs to be achieved there, and I had the time to manage myself to be able to do that. That's about my foundation. Second, book writing. Some of you he told Karthik that I wrote a book. I wanted to write a book about my accident in 1998, 99. I actually wrote a book in 2018 because I read things. There are two things I said. I didn't have the belief that I can write a book. It took me a time to develop a book. The other thing, I never created a goal. The day I created a goal, I was able to do that. So it was earlier no. I made it yes in today's successful, but earlier it was a no out earlier for me. This was a no. I didn't have a goal. The time I set it up is able to do it. The real example, it's not that everything I achieve are there. Even today, I feel I'll get drowned in swimming. I learned some swimming. I can do better, but I still don't have, I feel that somewhere I'll drown. So there is a very clear belief is not there. And what is that discipline? What my coach of swimming coach tells me, you just come 1 hour every day for about 3, 4 months, you'll learn swimming. But unfortunately, I'm not showing the discipline in that area. Okay. And that's the reason I have, failed in the swimming area to become successful. I've been able to successful out here. I've been able to stand the foundation. So I request each one of you, try and put that in your real life and practice example to put it there and come back to me. My numbers will be available. My email will be available to do that. I'll be able to help you, A to so. But I can assure you, if all these five elements is tick mark and yes is there, there's nothing in life you'll not be able to achieve there. With that, I'd like to end with my quote in the book, which I read, which I put there. Success is not just in the knowing, it's in the doing. Everything what some of things you may know it, some of you don't do it, but it doesn't help anywhere till you put into practice. If you have to take that learning, you have to figure it out today in one area, two area, whatever life. You've got to put the rubber should meet the road. Only when the rubber hit the road, it works about that. Otherwise, all this will be a good theoretical session. With that, thank you and happy learning and happy sharing with you. Sorry, the time has been less, but I'm happy to take a few questions if some of you have, so we are able to make the best use of time.
Yes, sir. So one of them is asking how to develop attitude.
I covered that because I think somebody missed out or that because there was a,
Maybe.
if you, I'll put it again. Are you able to see the presentation now? What page are you able to see?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, 1 second.
Harvard study.
Yeah, this is where I was. So somebody, I don't know who asked. See, one of the attitude is a journey. Yeah, one of the things which I spoke about. This is one thing if you can learn. I don't know when you joined in the session today. Do not watch TV, read newspaper, check social media 2 hours after you get up and 2 hours before you go to sleep. I don't know. I think the gentleman was there early or not. I gave an example of when I used to go for cricket matches and and there was no mobile phone. How was it about there? So garbage in, garbage out. If you sleep with thinking about that there was a theft, there was a bomb, there was this one which you saw on the television, your mind will keep thinking about it there. Yeah. You've got to really, really have this discipline to not feed in negative information, sensational information, especially 2 hours after you get up and 2 hours before you go to sleep. And this will take at least a couple of months to develop that because over the last 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 years, all the wrong things have got in your head, and therefore you are unable to be able to thing pointed out there. So I can't go to the whole slide again, but I think that you can see the recording at some point in future if you want to do that. Right, Lakshmi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So one more is asking, can you tell any other audiobook except Cuckoo FM?
I mean, I see, first of all, I'm not a, I mean, you know that I work in this thing. There's a beautiful app called Audible. Audible.in is from Amazon. It charges only 199 rupees a month. And you can get one book free every 199 rupees out there. More books are available out there. There are books of Dale Carnegie, Brian Tracy, Stephen Covey. Name it, the book enabled to do that. Whichever area of life, a spiritual book, religious book, name it, the book is available in my app. And every day, which I do is that whenever I'm traveling in a flight, in a road, on a train, I will be able to connect with my headset, sit nicely, not listen to anybody else, and enjoy my work. Even if I take longer in my traffic in Bombay, I'm ideally listening to a nice podcast or nice audiobook out there. So any books of Dale Carnegie you pick up there, brilliant books. I would say brilliant books. Brian Tracy, author, name it, the author out there. Jim Rohn. These are authors. You'll get books which will change your life. Those are the books which I've heard and has altered my life permanently out there. So I would request you to do that.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Yep.
Any other questions from audience?
But can you name those books? It was quite fast.
No,
Can
I'm
you
referring the
okay.
author to you, Shweta.
Yeah.
Author called Jim Rohn,
Okay.
called Dale Carnegie,
Okay.
Dalecarnegi. See,
Okay.
because it's a very different set of books out there. You must see which book you want. You may want a leadership book. That's Dale Carnegie there. If you want a book on selling, it's a Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is another author which you must listen to book. If you want to improve productivity and time management, there's a book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Okay, there are laundry of books on my backside. My house is fully loaded with books. And if you give me a choice to talk about books, I can go on and all. So just choose the author. Stephen Covey is another author you must choose in your life and read some of the
Stephen, can you repeat, sir? Stephen?
Stephen Covey.
Okay.
Yeah. Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Dale Carnegie, Stephen Covey. Just search in Google. They have different set of books. Read a little summary. Pick up which one you like. Take an audiobook. Start listening immediately, and slowly, gradually develop the habit of learning through the audiobooks and books out there. It'll change your life. I promise to you, Shweta. Just take this habit. It started about 11 and a half, 12 years back. Not that I was reading earlier there, but slowly, gradually developed, and my life has completely changed. And thanks to all these beautiful authors. If you want to lead on finance, then it should be Robert Kiyosaki. It is
Robert
Robert
Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki.
How
If
do you
anybody
spell
wants,
his surname?
Kiyosaki. Okay.
Oh, Kiyosaki. Okay.
Ever don't miss the book on finance called Rich Dad Poor Dad. That is an unbelievable book in life. If you understand that book, you will automatically in the path of
Which one, sir? Royal?
Rich Dad Poor Dad by
Oh, Rich
Robert Kiyosaki.
Dad Poor Dad. Yes, yes. Okay.
Brilliant book. And there are other books also, Robert Kiyosaki. So keep searching. Thoda bahut,
Sure.
And see, my telling you will not help.
Yeah.
You have to find out what book you like today. You want like a business book, you like a leadership book, you want a public speaking book, you want a productivity book. These are the authors I gave you. Search for it and find out.
How much time can we allot in a day to read a book which will help us? Half an hour should be enough? 30 minutes?
See, if you are not a reader, then about an hour, if you can give, it will be ideal. Half an hour is good. I mean, I would say half an hour is good than nothing. But
Yeah.
if you can bring in initial days, a little bit an hour of time, I can tell you, you will become a person in your community. People will say, I want to come and meet Shweta. Because that books will enrich
Yeah.
you and change your life so much. In 3 months' time, you will be one of the persons people will start to want to talk to you, discuss to you because of the kind of, you will change yourself completely.
So, just a last question, sorry.
Sure.
It will help us to develop the new, because I'm very much interested to learn new words, so which we can
Yeah,
use in
yeah.
our communication. So,
Very important. I have so many communication book and English speaking books. I can show you, still it's lying in my drawer down there. It's not easy. I've
Yeah.
done, and believe me, I learn it with my daughter. My daughter is in 4th standard, 8th standard. They come back with the Cambridge studio. I sit with them to learn that. So even today I learned it there. And that will give you a lot of confidence. See, once you start reading books, keep a dictionary along with you. Try and pick up some of the words, read it around there. When you read it, immediately you'll not remember, but when you read the word again, you'll be correct, that's the meaning out. Okay. So it takes a while. It's not very easy. Or as I said, I did an English speaking course also.
yeah.
I did a public speaking course also. You decide some of the courses and start going to help you out there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, sir. So, you are saying to keep dictionary and not to search the meaning through Google.
That's better because you'll understand. I mean, choose whatever. There's nothing, doesn't make a difference. It gives the same answer. Okay. So you choose whatever. The phone should not disturb you.
Right,
If you
right.
read The phone will, if you see Google search, and then something else comes in, your attention goes there. That's why I'm saying that. Nothing else is
Sure.
there. If you have the discipline, you can do that.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great session. Thank you so much, sir.
So,
Thank you,
so can
Shweta.
you name the app?
Audible.
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 Okay.
Audible Amazon Dalo app, you'll be able to do that. It's a wonderful. Just 199 rupees a month and you get one or two books. Just enjoy it.
That's it.
And believe me, they read the book at your pace. You want it one time pace, half time pace, two time pace, etc. Just read it and enjoy it. I would have hundreds and hundreds of books out there with the kind of books I want to read, the kind of the book. What it gives me is that I used to earlier fall asleep. I read a book and I sleep. So I said, how do I develop my habit? So I started to audiobook. Audiobook started to give me interest because I didn't have to, worry about while reading. My eyes got tired and sleep. But with audiobook, I was fresh. I was in the car using my time, so that allowed me. And then slowly, gradually, I developed reading the books as well. Because the interest came in there. Yeah,
Right. So thank you.
yeah.
So one more question. How to stay focused? Any tips?
So that will come from the goals. See, the problem is that when we don't have goals, now we do everything. For example, let me put a very simple example which everybody understands. Supposingly, you have to go for a shopping. Okay, I have to go for my daughter's shopping, but we are looking only at jeans to be bought for her, right? So we have a very clear defined goal that we have to buy jeans only. But just suppose start go to a shoes section, then go to a deo section, then you go to a shirt section, then some other section out there. You're wasting time because you don't know. You didn't plan. You said, "देखते हैं जो भी sale में मिलेगा करने." You end up searching for 2 hours. Maybe you didn't buy the jeans which you want to buy, but do something else. So to bring focus, you got to have a goal. I gave a very vague example, but it's very powerful. Whenever you go for shopping, it is not waste of time. Two things happen. First, we don't waste time. Second, we don't waste our money. Because when we don't know what we want to buy, we buy all the things which we don't want to buy. Because there's no goal. Randomly, अच्छा ये भी अच्छा है, okay, let me buy this. This अच्छा, अरे ये बहुत अच्छा price है, let me buy this across. This is what happens in life because you don't know what you want to do. Therefore, focus comes in. I'm going very clearly to buy a shoes. I'm going very clearly to buy a shirt. And I go to shirt section, come out of it. That discipline, again, I say self-discipline is important. So all are intertwined. It's not that, goal खाली बनने से तुमको discipline भी रखना पड़ेगा. So that way is slightly, all intertwined. That's why I call it a badge. Believe, attitude, discipline, goals, and effective execution. So, but if you start having goals, you will stop losing your chunks of time. Many times you don't realize. Today, technology tells you, it will show you how many hours you on social media, right? That is one of the way to cut down time. You want to start your business, you want to improve English, you want to do something else, but you're wasting your time on watching some Netflix series out there. No point in doing that. So that's my answer. Develop goals for yourself and you'll be able to become more focused in life. Any other question?
Wow, what a wonderful knowledge given by you, sir. I hope our audience learned many new things from this session. I would like to highlight some of the points like belief, attitude, goals, and self-discipline and effectiveness. Sir, there are a few questions which our audience want to be answered. So, with our permission, shall we start the questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, which is the most important element in our life?
I think goal is an important part because that sets you going. Until you have a goal, it'll all be, haywire, helter-skelter out there. So that's the starting point. Okay. All other goal becomes the starting point. Yeah. Next question.
Okay, sir. Thank you for answering this question. The next question is: how does your work align with your purpose in life?
How does your work? You are not audible very clearly.
How does your work align with your purpose in life? Purpose in life.
Yeah, purpose in life is nothing but goal, right? So purpose is very important. And without purpose, human beings live a life, they reach a 40 year, 50 year and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm lost. I want to change my career. I want to quit, go to Himalayas and all because they don't have a purpose in life. Yeah. So that purpose has to identify by doing. Again, as I said, this again go back to goal setting exercise. It takes a 1 hour plus 2 hours effort to be able to identify a purpose. Purpose doesn't come very easily. God has given purpose to everybody, but you have to take time to identify it and uncover it. Most of the time, people don't know what they want to do in life. And therefore, they keep running after things which they don't know and end up being frustrated in life.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. The last question is: how does you convey your ideas and messages effectively?
By having clarity of what you want to speak. You should know what you want to speak. You can't go round and round and everything without knowing what you want to speak, right? The topic is clear. If there's no 5 elements of human success is discussing out there, I'm not talking something else. It was, concise. So you should know what the clarity is important. The word is the right word is clarity.
Thank you for answering it, sir. So that was
Yeah.
a very good piece of advice to us, sir. Again, thank you all for attending today's webinar. If you have any additional questions, you can contact us by email or telephone. We are happy to provide additional support to you. Please follow us on our social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel for new learnings.